Hello and welcome to another daily Leetcode challenge. Let's begin today's question. Question 2352, equal row and column pairs. Given a zero-indexed n by n integer matrix grid, return the number of pairs CR or RC such that row and column C are equal. A row and a column pair is considered equal if they contain the same elements in the same order. So, okay. One more time. Given a integer matrix of size n, so it's a square, return the number of pairs row column such that row and column are equal. A row column pair is considered equal if they contain the same elements in the same order. So, as an example, if we have this 3 by 3 matrix, 3, 2, 1, 1, 7, 6, 2, 7, 7, we have one equal row, and that equal row is 2, 7, 7. And the 2, 7, 7, there's a row, the second row, that's 2, 7, 7, and the column index 1. And that's exactly what it says. Row index 2 is 277. Column index 1 is 277. Therefore, output is 1. Okay, so let's look at another example. But what this is looking like is we would have to probably have hashes of certain columns, or we would have hashes of columns and different hashes for rows. And for each one of those hashes, we would have a number of repeated times. So let's look at another example, but see if that introduces anything. The output is 3, and the explanation is 3, 1, 2, 2 repeats in 3, 1, 2, 2. So row 3, 1, 2, 2 repeats in column 3, 1, 2, 2. Row index 2, which is 2, 4, 2, 2, repeats in column index 3. Oh, sorry, column index 2, 2, 4, 2, 2. And row index 3, 2, 4, 2, 2 also repeats in column index 2, 2, 4, 2, 2. Okay, let's start with creating this intermediate data structure, which is going to be 1 for rows, 1 for columns, and as a key value, and this is going to be a dictionary, a key will be the hash of that row. The value will be the number of occurrences. Let's have a default dict that takes a constructor class int and calls. And for since this is a n by n matrix, we can iterate over first columns and rows, such as for I in range len grid, and then for j in range len grid 0. And now, since this is a square, I and j are actually going to be interchangeable. This is what I mean. This is going to be our key hash, which is just going to be a string. And what's going to be the construction of the key? Key hash is going to be plus equals grid I. Oh, so I need to construct two different key hashes. A row key hash, and then another one call key hash. The row key hash is going to be equal plus equal to grid, and let's have this be an str since grid of I, j, and let's have the same for column, except again, this is only working because it is a square, but I can actually interchange I and j and have a ji to essentially emulate iterating over the columns first and then rows. So once we have constructed those two hashes, we would now be able to say rows by row key hash plus equals 1 and identical for calls and call key hash. At this point, let's let's print both calls and rows and see what we get here. Ideally, we should have a simple hash of a row or a column and the number of appearances. And it seems like that's exactly what it is, which is perfect. Now that we've calculated how many times each hash appears, we can have a simple out equaling out variable, and for row in rows, to out we would append the number of times that row appears in columns, except I also need to know how many times this row appears in the grid. So I'm actually going to say items. This is going to be the row hash, and then the num, maybe the number of times. And this num is going to be times the number of times it appears in calls, which we can get by the row hash, and return out. With this, we are running. Everything seems to be passing fine. Submit. And wrong answer. Wrong answer. Output 4, expected 2. And I see what's happening right away. I see what's happening. You can see kind of the pattern that 1, 1, 1, 2 our row hash and column hash. It's probably going to look something like 1, 1, 1 appearing 2 times in the rows and 2 times in the columns. Let's print rows and print calls. And let's remove these two. Run. And to get rid of this issue, we can actually, yeah, exactly. 111 appearing twice. We could actually just add a little separator as such. And this should fix our issue. Let's submit this one more time. The period is going to be used as a separator, and perfect. This seems to work fine. And beats 32%. Let's look at some potential other solutions. So they have a default dict for row and grid. And they're using the same thing, except the default dictionary, the intermediate data structure that I'm talking about, they're using it for only one, either the row or the column. However, this is, again, a very, very promising and very intuitive solution, and feel free to use this. With that, let's end today's video. Please like and subscribe, and see you tomorrow. Bye.